What's going on, everybody? This is Extra Grave. You can call me Diarrhea because I run shit. Call me Swiffer the Sweeper because I stay dusting that ass. Got you some Call of Duty Warzone. Yay. It's actually a decent game, playing solos. This game is so hit or miss. It can be super fucking frustrating. And sometimes it can be super fucking fun. It's dependent on how the people in your lobby decide to play. For instance, I always say on Twitter, people run around and loot and loot and loot, and then once people hear other people, they stop. Like, you're gonna die if you don't do that. You're gonna die if you just rush around and play the game how you want to play. So I said Black Ops, you had tools to be able to run around and play how you want it. But you'll see here, this guy hears me coming in. And what's he do? He goes upstairs and lays on the fucking ground like a fucking douche. Like, come on, man. Like, how fucking gay are you? So, now, if I run up there, I die. Most likely. He was bad. So, a lot of times, like I do to this fuck, people resort to camping. So I just fucking sat in this fucking cubby. He ends up jumping out the fucking window and coming in, and I teabag him, and then I die because I get third parties. I mean, if it's not one thing, it's another. I end up coming back from the gulag, and I end up, like I said, I end up winning this game. But for the most part, I mean, there's a couple of times in this game where people are fucking, like, this other guy hears me, runs to the top of the stairs, sits at the top of the stairs. I mean, it's always just run until you hear something and then stop. Like, it's super frustrating how strong the footsteps are. People say they can't hear them. I mean, I've gotten snuck up on before, but dead silence is a thing. And if you use dead silence properly, then that's, you should be rewarded for it. But I feel like footsteps are a huge crutch in this game. And for some reason, they give me two of the exact same gun. But it's a huge crutch in this game. So, it's kind of frustrating having to deal with that because, I like to run around. Y'all know how I like to play. I like to run around and have fun, be aggressive, but you just have to play slow. Like I said, the gunplay in this game, just like in multiplayer, gunplay is great. Sniping in Warzone is actually really fun. I like sniping. I'm not great at it. I do get a headshot here, but I'm not great at it. But it's still fun. I enjoy doing it. It's rewarding. If you get headshots, it's rewarding. But I feel like I've always said this, but like Black Ops games, Treyarch's games, you do have, and I wasn't a super fan of the Blackout where you had to put 1,000 bullets and you just hit armor and armor and armor over and over. I wasn't like a great fan of that. It wasn't like my favorite thing. It's kind of sucked. But, on the bright side of things, if somebody's camping in a corner and you run into a building, you at least have a fighting chance to turn and kill them. Like, they have to be accurate when you run through a door, or else you'll be able to turn and kill them. But in this game, if you land a couple shots, you're fucked. There's nothing you can do about it. A couple view kick headshots and you're dead. So it's just really frustrating sometimes. And again, it just goes on, just goes. It really just is going to depend on what kind of players are in the lobby. To be successful in Warzone, I have to kind of slow down and play, a little campy, which is like frustrating. But, there are times like here, I do get a knock on this guy and I'm able to, push him, be aggressive. Still almost fucking die. Even though I down him, the self-res is so dumb. Self-res should be at least like a 10-second, 10-second res time. Just like in Apex. If you fucking self-res, it takes a long-ass time, which that sight is atrocious. It takes a long-ass time to res. He sat behind a barrel because he's probably petrified and ended up, leaving too late. But I still play semi-aggressive in this game. It's really hard to consistently play aggressive and win consistent gunfights. Just for the simple fact, you take all the things into consideration, like the footsteps, the cold-blooded heartbeat sensor shit. I've been using it because it's fucking just tools that allows me to be a little bit more, mobile and run around a little bit more. But, with the footsteps being super loud, with people hiding in corners, people are in bushes just laying down in random fucking spots in open fields and shit. Like, sometimes it's just so frustrating when you're out. It happens in games like this where I'm fucking doing well, and then fucking dude sitting in a fucking corner, dude's laying in the fucking field doing fucking nothing. It's frustrating, but all in all, when people do, I'm not even gonna say play the game right, but when people are moving and not just posted up in corners and buildings all game, the game's pretty fun. There's a lot of shit I would change still. I would definitely make the health a little higher. I would definitely make rockets not do as much damage to humans because I think that's fucking ridiculous. Because you get a bad player who's completely content with rocketing himself and killing you. He's like, oh, at least I got him. They're completely content with that, and that's fucking ridiculous. So I use dead silence here to get up to the building without him hearing me, and busted the door. Can't see this guy. Can't see him, but he shot at me, so I knew he was there. Like, no fucking way you can see him. So dark fucking corners galore. That's another thing. It's just so many fucking safe spaces and shit. It's frustrating. It can be so frustrating, but it can be also so fun. And if you're wondering why, I think all them things look like that because I'm on my PC. I'm still messing with the settings. I'm actually playing on PC right here with a controller. I bought a nice PC for Black Friday, so I might as well fucking use it. The game looks so much better. At least while playing, it looks so much better on PC than it does on my Xbox. So, all in all, this is a good game. Overall, my total experience from this, as a whole, it's just the game's frustrating. Like, it can be fun. There's flashes of it, but there's a ton of shit that I would change. Like, earlier I was in a game, I came in like 4th. There's a truck driving in circles and in circles and circles in a small-ass fucking circle. No one's shooting at him because they obviously don't want to give his spot away. I'm fighting my way into the circle, and he drives over a full-size concrete barrier, that's on flat ground, drives straight over it and runs me over. It's like, okay. But then, you'll go to like a ledge that's like 4 feet, like the same height as this, and you can't jump over it. Like some of the ledges you cannot get over. Which to me, that's just fucking so sloppy. What is the counter to fucking having a truck, drive around in circles and not be able to fucking, get countered pretty much. You could say C4, but not everybody has fucking C4 at all times. There's cars and trucks all over the map. There's rockets all over the map that people just pick up and just shoot. It's so frustrating. Some shit like that needs to be balanced. I feel like the people's making decisions in this game, just make the decisions based on making a game for lesser players. A little too much. It's kind of frustrating. I was talking with somebody about it yesterday. The skill gap in this game, I feel like, is not high because you can have a crappy player sitting in corners and claymores with heartbeat sensors in one building, get 5, 6, 7 kills easy. I mean, that's not hard to do, but it's fucking boring. I could probably do that every game, but it's boring. So I'm not going to sit there and do that. It's just not enjoyable. It's not, you could say people play the way they want, but that's not necessarily how the game's intended to be played. People do it, and you can't stop them from doing it, but it's just, there's no tools to be aggressive in this game. There's no real tools except for dead silence, but they don't even really come up that often, to be honest. I feel like you should be able to buy them. I didn't even really think about that till now because I'm so smart. You should be able to buy them from the buy stations. Like why not? You can buy the munitions box. So why can't you buy dead silence? That would be amazing because then you go out and you rush around. Most people that rush around are going to get a lot of kills. When you get more kills, you get money. You can keep getting them if you want. And if you're not going to rush around, then you won't use them. But, I mean, that's a perfect way. You got to earn it. Once you earn it, it's just like a kill streak. It's no different than having a kill streak in the game, having dead silence. So, I don't see. I'm pretty sure there's a guy in here. What happens here? I think I kill him. I don't know where the fuck he's at. But, yeah. I definitely kill somebody here, I thought. Maybe not. But anyway, yeah, that would be a great idea to have, dead silence be able to be bought from the buy station. Because that'll give people, even more of a reason to move around, try and get money, loot, whatever. It'll give them more of people a reason to move. Whether you can't hear them or not, they still have to make smart decisions. But it'll take away from the sound whoring so much. But, overall, this game has potential to be very fun. It can be very fun. Like I said, I like the modern day, you know, not necessarily realistic, but modern day, I guess, battle royale with real weapons and things like that. Um, but there's still a ton of stuff that I would change about it. But overall, it's very frustrating playing this game, especially solos. Squads is a little bit better. Um, Playing squads, it seems like teams are a little bit, more willing to move around. But overall, the game has potential to be really good. But in my opinion, there's a lot of things that should be fixed. Um, but anyway, this is coming to an end. I'll just let you guys watch the rest of this. Um, this is actually my first solo win. This game is definitely much harder to come to get wins, to come by wins. For whatever reason, it's just you start with 150 people, and it is a bigger map. But that's one thing I can't stand when the map starts halfway outside the circle. So essentially, at that point, half the map's not even going to be touched. So they want to sit there and not brag and boast, but they want to sit there and flaunt that they got a big old map. Okay, well, you got a huge map. That's terrific. Well, guess what? Half the map's not being used because you're starting the circle, and there's only a quarter of that circle in the actual map. So, don't sit there and tell me you have this huge map because half the time it doesn't even fucking get used. But so then you start with 150 people on said circle, where the circle's only a quarter of the way in the map. 150 people. By the time all the gulags go off, and then people rebuy their teammates back, in a squads game, it's probably about 200 to 225 people in a game. Like that's a shit ton of people. Especially when the circle, like I've literally seen the circle start where the only part of the circle was about a quarter of it on the actual playable map. The rest of it was out of bounds. Like there's no reason for that. That's ridiculous. That cuts off half the map. But sometimes it could be a clusterfuck just because of the amount of people. I feel like you're either in the action or you're nothing. Like it's either a clusterfuck or it's nothing. It's never just like a little bit of action here, a little bit of action there. It's usually all in or nothing. But anyway, it's coming to an end. I hope y'all enjoyed me ranting and just giving you my thoughts on this game. But overall, it is what it is. It's a frustrating game for sure. I think it could do a lot of things better. Hopefully they'll improve some things. But all in all, this here was a decent game. But I hope y'all enjoyed. If you didn't, click the thumbs down button. If you did, you know what to do. Peace.